This story is, am I the astronaut for calling my mother-in-law toxic and a narcissist? I, 29 female, and my husband, 28 male, have been together for 3 years. Everything with his mother-in-law was great until I fell pregnant last year in May. Fell pregnant? Makes it sound like an illness. It started with constantly calling me during our midwife and scans. I had to have my phone on as my partner couldn't be there, so I'd FaceTime or call him. She tried to get me to move into her family's house as I live 5 hours away in her world, and it was what's best for me and the baby to get all the support as my partner lives and works 2 hours away, even though I live 20 minutes away from all my family. She constantly nagged me to move near her or in with her. It came to Christmas, and she and father-in-law came to our house. Everything went well until we went out for dinner, and she proceeded to talk about my husband's ex-fiance and wondered how she was doing and if she sold the ring he gave her, etc., and that our baby was hers, and it's 25% her DNA, so she can call her her baby. What? What the? Okay. Yeah, we're going to red flag that, and we're going to red flag that again because what? We ended up leaving, and my mother-in-law was pissed. I was upset and said, we've made her feel so uncomfortable, and we didn't make her feel welcome. A week before I gave birth, I sent her a text just a reminder that we're not having visitors for 2 weeks so we can enjoy our time together and so I can recover. She sent my partner a voice note not even 5 minutes after I sent that, telling my partner that I needed to respect that this is her grandchild and she will be at the birth, and that I needed to respect her decision and that those 2 weeks together aren't special. Oh, lady. Oh, lady. I'm stretching. I'm getting myself ready for a knockdown drag out between OP and mother-in-law here. Long story short, she and father-in-law came up when the baby was 2 weeks old, and mother-in-law asked to come up 2 weeks later after my husband had gone back to work, but all three of us caught COVID. So I told her that she and her daughters couldn't visit, and her response was, the girls will be so disappointed. We stopped speaking for months because my mental health declined because of her, and she's tried to worm her way in recently. Last weekend, she told my partner I was toxic and narcissistic and stopped him from speaking to her. I've told my partner whatever relationship he wants with his mom is up to him, but I don't want anything to do with her as she's lost that right. She sent me a text being all nice after she got off the phone to my partner, slagging me off, so I basically told her that I wouldn't have thought it was sincere if she didn't say what she said, and she's been the problem all along, not me. She's been toxic and narcissistic, and I'm dumbfounded she thinks that I am. Am I the ass cannot? No, hell no. Hell no here. This is one of those instances where mommy wants control. Mommy wants to maintain control. And because her child helped produce something, i.e. your child, that means that she has a claim to it and she gets to make decisions and she has control. Nope. Sorry, mummy. That's not how any of this works. You don't like it? Go talk to a lawyer and see what they say. They're going to tell you the same thing. That's not how this works. You don't get to disagree with mom and be like, oh, I will be there. Oh, those 2 weeks that you're saying you're not having visitors for? No, you don't get to decide that. I get to decide that. No, you don't, mummy. Your son, i.e. my husband, speaking from OP's point of view now, obviously, that's your child. And a long time ago, you got to make decisions when it came to him. But then he became a big boy and he entered into a relationship, a marriage, made a child of his own, and you don't get to control things anymore. You just don't. So anger, pain creates change, right? So that anger is enough, hopefully enough pain for him to create some change. He can create boundaries with her. I don't know how familiar he is with doing that previously. I don't know if he's ever hit this point in his life or in his relationship with his mom where he had to set a hard boundary and be like, you shall not pass. He may have to go Gandalf on this and really create a firm boundary here that says you don't get to say this kind of shit, or you don't get to have a relationship with me or my child. You don't get to act like this, or you don't get to have a relationship with me or our child. You've already burned the bridge that would allow you to have a relationship with my partner. Now it's a relationship with me that's at risk. Do you really want to go there? He may have to do that. Do you think he would ever do that? If you create a boundary and it's stomped upon, what happens? A boundary is really only a boundary if there's some kind of reaction whenever it gets crossed. There has to be some kind of, I'm not going to say punishment, but punishment. There has to be something that happens whenever she crosses it. If it's I'm going to block your number for 30 days every time you cross this boundary, or every time you do this one thing gets taken away. There has to be some kind of negative effect that happens whenever she crosses these boundaries, or she's got no reason to stop. You see what I mean? There is no punishment. There's no hot stove. She can just keep touching it. It's like an electric fence with the dog, but the electricity's not turned on. Like, it's not that I would ever condone that. You know what I mean? You're absolutely NTA for calling her toxic and a narcissist, because she is. But at this point, that's not going to stop you from feeling the pain that you're feeling. There has to be some kind of change. And for you, it feels like it's going to have to be the follow through. It's got to be follow through with the consequence. And you and your partner are going to have to come together on the same page and decide to be firm on that and have a plan that you are both following to a T, and that consequence has to be followed through. And it is either going to block her number for X amount of time, or explain to her that you're going no contact for X amount of time, period. No physical, no phone contact, no nothing. But something has to happen. The consequence has to be followed, and it's going to have to be firm enough to create pain that would create change on her end. It has to be something that matters to her, or you're going to go through this for the rest of your life. At some point, it's got to be firm enough to create pain. So what matters to her? Is it the relationship with your partner? And if so, put it on hold. See how she survives for 30 days without being able to talk to your partner. You may have to do some experimentation with creating pain there.